Today I'm going to make a rum-infused, fungal-based Turkish Delight using jelly ear mushrooms. Here's some jelly ears that I collected earlier, and my first job is to wash them thoroughly just to get all the debris off them, like moss or bits of twig or branches, just to get them nice and clean basically. These jelly ears have now been thoroughly rinsed and washed. The next job is to dry them out. Now I use a dehydrator, there are obviously other ways to dry things. Also note, you could potentially find them actually ready dried on the tree. The only slight problem with that is it can sometimes be a bit harder to actually wash them properly, because once they are dry, it is a bit harder to get that debris off them and the moss and all that kind of stuff. But if you can, that can be a much quicker way of doing it, saves you the job of drying them. But I generally just pick ones that are already jelly-like and then just dry them in a dehydrator. There they are in the dehydrator, just a few hours and they'll be dried. Here I've got some dried wood ears. Some of the pieces are quite small already, so they're fine, but some of the bigger pieces like that, I might just break up into slightly smaller pieces. That will do nicely. So now I've put my dried wood ear pieces into a jar. Any jar will do, but whatever container you use, ideally you want to fill it about half full. So obviously, depending on how many wood ear bits you've got and how many you want to use, will determine how big a jar or container you need. Then I'm just going to fill this container with rum. Not brimful, but almost full. Now this also works okay with sloe gin, but I think rum is best. I have heard others do it with Cointreau, which is also apparently very good. I'm now just going to put a lid on it and then leave it to soak for a day or two. These have now been left for 2 days, and you can see how the jelly ears have really soaked up the rum, and they'll be properly infused with rum now. So what I'm going to do now is take them out of the jar and put them onto some kitchen towels to let them soak, and I might just pat them down as well just to remove the excess liquid. Whilst I'm doing that, I also take my chocolate and I just melt it. You can melt it however you want, as long as you do it carefully and don't burn it. The chocolate you use, by the way, wants to be a pretty decent eating chocolate. We've now got the melted chocolate. We've got our wood ears. We're ready to go. I just skewer each piece onto a fork like that, and then just dip them in the molten chocolate. I just let the excess chocolate drip off, and then we just put it onto some grease-proof paper. Once done, leave them to set, and once they're set, they're ready to eat. Unless you're going to eat them all at once, you just need to store them in some kind of airtight container in a cool, dry place. They should keep for a couple of months easily, but beyond that, I'm not sure, as they never last longer than that with me.